Greetings everyone, I am Lord Malvern, and welcome back to my Stellaris campaign, being streamed live on Twitch. Okay, so, let's go ahead and resume, and let's go ahead and, okay, we still have Space Amoeba there. 452.6 is their strength. That is, quite a bit, I would say. As Jack Notch pointed out, we should, yeah, R.I.P. Pluto. Yeah, I haven't seen Pluto is not in this game. So we should recruit an admiral. Gale speed, that sounds pretty good. Evasion plus 5%, sublight speed plus 20%, speed plus 20%. Nadezhda Grishina. It sounds like she would be a pretty good admiral. Trickster, evasion. Evasion plus 10%, emergency FTL, damage minus 25%, okay. And scout sensor range plus 25%. I think we are going to go with, Gale speed, Admiral Grishina, and have her command the first strike force, which, yeah, Gale speed does seem like the best.
System
I
survey
agree.
complete.
Ooh. Okay, so this one's got a few nice resources
Special
here.
project complete.
Okay, so we've established communication with the Commonwealth of Uthon. And they are squid people. Okay. Inquisitor Wu Glam and the rest of the religious council bids you greetings. We will provide spiritual guidance to the Commonwealth of Uthon, and our stated goal is to lead this great nation to a path of salvation. Do not cross this path, and we may live in friendship. You will find yourself no match for us, Uthonians. We will fight for our right to exist, Uthonian. We will not be held back, Uthonians. Okay, so you will find yourself no match for us, Uthonians, or we will not be held back, Uthonians. Sounds like the most Ming, response. I think first one. The news that we have encountered intelligent alien life for the first time has been received with mixed feelings by our populace. This confirms that what we have long suspected, we are not alone in this galaxy. Each new alien species we encounter represents both an opportunity and a threat. We must be wary. These particular Xenos have a level of technology similar to our own, indicating that we have achieved spaceflight at roughly the same time. This changes everything. The mighty Paragon was forced to return to Sol from Uthon because it was within the borders. Alright, that's fine.
Evading hostile fleet.
Okay, so, ooh. That's a lot there. Okay, so that looks like that's their home world. They are equivalent to us, unfriendly. Of course. Let's see what kind of tech they have chosen before we warp out of here. Okay, so we know that they are wormhole aliens. They also have mass drivers. Okay, so looks like we are actually going to definitely want shields then, if we're going to go up against these guys, which, you know, I think we are. I'd say we definitely are. They are unfriendly, rival you, goodbye, good day, insult you, goodbye, good day. Arg. They'll make the best slaves. Yeah, people probably did not take the hostile greeting to... too well. Yeah, right to exist was a good second choice. Was a good choice as well, but I think we went with the best one. I think we went with the one that made us the strongest. We're allying with the next race. We'll see. We'll see. We could have allies. We could not have allies. We are militarists. It's going to be harder for us to find allies. These guys, we are not going to necessarily go up against them yet. Keyword is yet. We are going to build up a mighty fleet. Strike them down as soon as we are able. But, for now. I swear if that powerful race pops up into the galaxy, like in the original Master of Orion games. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I have heard that there are extra-dimensional aliens for endgame crises. As a potential endgame crisis, so that might not be fun. Okay. We haven't done any construction in a long time here. We need to do that. Go ahead and we need to build a mining station as soon as we are able, because we
Research
desperately...
complete.
Situation log
updated.
Okay, Epsilon aliens. New research. Now we could build nuclear missiles. That would give us more weapons to choose from, certainly. More weapons, more fun. I think, yeah, that's not a bad idea. Let's go with that. I think we should actually... No, actually... Let's go with the spaceport, because that's going to lead us in the direction of being able to build destroyers. And, yeah, I know. Can you design your spaceships? You can absolutely design your spaceships. Unfortunately, we do not have any particularly fancy components as of yet. We do actually have, we can upgrade some things here. Get some new reactors here. We could potentially, choose some better weapons here. Small slot weapons are more effective against corvettes, so I'm thinking we might want to make a... Let's go ahead and make a new corvette design. That's anti-corvette. And we are just going to fill it up with mass drivers here, all 3 slots. We are going to give it maximum everything. Gonna fill it up with fusion reactors. A little bit extra power there, but that's okay. And we are going to call this a yeah, we are going to eventually make some pretty badass ships. You haven't seen the battleships yet. Those are fantastic. We are going to name this... What should we name this? We're going to name this Squid Killer. Alright. That sounds like a good choice of name. And then we are going to auto-complete this one. Oops, No, we're not going to fill empty with that. That was my mistake. Delete those. Save this one. Upgrade that. Go ahead. Let's make a badass flagship for you, Admiral. Did you see my previous comment? If you haven't researched nuclear weapons by the 1950s, you're screwed. I did see your comment. I will say we will have plenty of resources to make badass ships eventually. Our ships are not badass yet. That is our problem right now. We do not have badass ships. We can make ships as badass as we can right now, but they are weak, puny little things that, you know, they're just like, well, we zoom in on them. They are, look, my mining station is bigger than these ships. Can you puppet the Ultons? I can actually, if I declare war on them, I can vassalize them, which would basically put them under my stead, which, you know, that's a militant way of making alliances. So okay, are you fleeing from aliens again? God damn it. Okay, so we are going to set up researching for those two and get that started. Having puppets could cement your status, yes. And I will actually, when I find other alien races, I will be, you know, that are like pre-warp, I will be infiltrating them. I've already sort of decided on that. That will put puppets in control of their government. We will be the space, the giant lizard people, in other words. Okay, so Squid Killer is slightly more expensive, but we will start building some of those. Because we can. Can you change your government into a federation? That is not actually how federations are actually, what they are is they are an advanced form of alliance. That it kind of works like a more tightly controlled HRE, wherein they're only the president of the Federation can make foreign policy decisions like going to war, basically. And every 5 years, it rotates around. So really, federations, in terms of strategy, I'm not evaluating them as a gameplay mechanic, because whether or not they are a good gameplay mechanic, because I cannot, the review embargo on this is not up yet. But I will say that strategy-wise, federations are really only beneficial in multiplayer, and if you are playing as a defensive pacifist empire. As somebody that's going to be expansionist and militaristic, they are of no value to me. You can play as a democracy, yes. Democracies, their main advantage is that you get a new ruler more often, which means you get different bonuses more often. Like my ruler's traits is that he's expansionist, which means frontier Frontier Outpost build cost minus 15%, really? That's nice. And our monthly influence is +1 because he has deep connections. Okay, so... that's all pretty nice. But our next ruler, currently Crown Princess Antonia Fernandez, is going to have Corvette focus and resilient, which Corvette build costs minus 20%, and she's going to be a long-lived empress. What forms of government are there? That's a good question. So, you could break them down into sort of 3 different categories. There are democracies, oligarchies, and autocracies. Autocracies are like a single ruler, generally, you know, like inherited, or they could be like heirs chosen from different branches of government. Like, there could be, like, for example, a military dictatorship will generally have, like, let me just, there's a way to change governments here somewhere. There we go. So, like, the ones available right now for me are basically, like, I cannot select democracies because of my, collectivist and, my collectivist ethics prevent me from selecting democracies. Okay. Democracies are for individualists. So I can only select oligarchies and autocracies. So the military junta is the oligarchy version of the militarist the militarist sort of ethics branch. And so that one, you get a new ruler every 40 to 50 years that's elected by your generals and admirals and stuff like that. Okay, so if you want a stable society, best let people choose who's the leader. You know, that might be the case in real life. I'm not sure it's necessarily the case here. You will get a happiness penalty, I believe, if as like a collectivist people, you conquer an individualist people. Let's see here. Jack Notch, thank you very much for the follow. I did have to go off screen there for a little bit, which is why my mouse cursor moved. So let's take a look at our happiness for a second. That's not a inhabited world. Okay, so right now our happiness is 100%. Everyone's happy. Okay, because they're on the capital world. They're happy with the governor. You know, everyone here is pretty damn happy. Excuse me, happiness is 72%. That's still pretty good. There aren't any negative traits here. If you get a bad leader, you could get your leader into an unfortunate accident. Yeah, I hope so. I would love for there to be some intrigue here. I haven't actually played as an autocracy yet in this game. My previous experience was as a science directive, which is the materialist oligarchy, where your leaders are elected by scientists and are generally scientists themselves. So yeah, and each government carries different bonuses. This one actually has like a unique building, like a super military station, so that'll be nice once we get to that. Anyway, let's unpause and continue surveying everything and building stuff, because that's always nice. And we are still researching colonies. Unfortunately, every time we find aliens, this guy can't do 2 things at once. He's not a good multitasker. He has to go off and investigate those aliens before returning to research. Okay, we're done building our ships. We have 201 military power in our fleet now. We are terrible at minerals right now. There's no need to kill gas grazers rather. Killing them, I don't believe, has any benefit, as far as I'm aware. Okay, so we really want to build, we really need some more minerals. Military junta might be useful in the invasion of Ultan. That is true. And, I believe we can switch governments. We can switch governments right now. Okay. Well, except we don't have the influence. But once we have the influence, we could switch governments right now. But, once we do that, there's going to be a bit of a cooldown. Okay, and plus we lose our nice Emperor title. And we want the Celestial Empire to be driven by an Emperor, right? I do. I certainly do. Okay, so slave mineral output plus 10%. Well, you see, none of our population right now, currently, none of them are slaves. And, let's see here, we can... Okay, so slave pops excel at manual labor, but are not useful for more intellectual pursuits. So we cannot, for example, put a slave on... A slave being put on this tile would not be useful for us. Because that is engineering research. So, but putting a slave on, say, mining would not be a bad idea. Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, I think they're pretty comfortable with the Emperor title right now. Again, I do apologize for YouTube viewers. This talking to the chat, I know is I should mention what people say every time. Your people might not look favorably on the Emperor title, Kappa, is what I was responding to. Defenses on Earth, we currently have 1 defense army, which is not great. Now, I know, Jack Notch, you're trying to push me to become a military dictatorship, but, you know, we are the eternal celestial empire of the Ming. The Emperor is God. Colonial defense. Yeah, that's a weird name for a defense army, isn't it? Of Earth, no less. I do happen to agree with that. Now, we could build some more defensive armies, and we probably will before we go to war. Right now, I think more ships is in our better interest, as well as getting more resources.
Special project complete.
And we found crystalline entities. The reports of strange free-floating crystal-like objects as they're observed in certain systems have been investigated. The ship-like objects and their slightly smaller but equally crystal-like satellites at first appeared inert, but sudden shifts in their orientation relative to our ships and new energy signatures emerging from within the prisms indicate that they should be regarded as hazardous and approached with caution. Even should we not find a martial use for them, studying a shattered crystal will no doubt yield interesting results. we will send our fleets to break them apart.
Situation log updated. Special project complete.
We established communications with the United Malwigol provinces. Well met. I represent the United Malwigol provinces, led by the illustrious Archprophetess Nadiv I. We rule our region of space under a divine mandate, and so long as you do not interfere in our spiritual affairs, our relations may remain cordial. We will not be held back. Yeah, let's go with that. You know, neither one of our things is
System survey
nice,
complete.
but evangelicalizing zealots. They are fanatic collectivists and spiritualists, and they are very hostile towards us. My god. These guys are just unfriendly towards us. They're individualists. They're filthy individualists. These are the guys at least are collectivists. That means that they would be good slaves. Let's rival them. Get more influence that way, and then sort of insult them as well. Might as well. Yeah. Yeah, so we are not making friends here. Soon communications for all your vessels will be blocked. None of you are free from sin. That is so nice of you. It's too bad that we didn't actually get into their system though, because then we could actually see find out what their ships are like. But we're just gonna have to declare war on them first and foremost. Oh hey, look, Sirius has an inhabitable system. You gotta go soon, Jack? That's okay. We're gonna be putting up these on YouTube. This is like part 3 right now. So, I put these out like one a day, since this is gonna be like a whole week's worth of Let's Plays I'm recording here. So, part 4 will be up around Sunday. That would be a good time. So let me just go ahead and link you youtube.com/Lord Malvern Games is the channel. And yeah, have a good evening, Jack. Okay, and actually, speaking of that, I think we are going to need to take a break for YouTube here, so I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.